Would you consider yourself a positive person? You've done the affirmations, you've set the goals, and yet nothing seems to be occurring, and you haven't yet been able to achieve the goals that are important to you. Those results continue to elude you. I want to support you in understanding what could be standing in the way between you and your goals. You probably have a foundational understanding that your thoughts create your reality. Our thought power is one of the most powerful energies on the planet. If you think about it, our thoughts have created everything on this planet that's ever been made by humans. Everything first started in a thought before it ever became a reality. Your thought energy is so powerful. And even though it's that powerful, most of us don't recognize that we're yielding this power and we're not harnessing it in a way that's really powerful and impactful. When we're thinking our thoughts, for most of us, our thoughts are thinking us. We wake up thinking the same thoughts we thought yesterday. We're thinking based on what we're hearing on the radio or hearing on social media or conversations with other people. It's more of a reactionary thought. And so 95% of our thoughts are simply repetitive. And because we're thinking repetitively, we continue to create results that are repetitive. We keep creating the same results over and over and over again. Understanding the power of our thoughts is essential to creating new results. We live in an inside-out universe. And most of us think, I've got to go change my outside. I've got to change jobs. I have to change houses. I have to move countries or go traveling. And if I change my outer environment, then I'll be happier. And the truth is, if we don't change the inner environment, no matter how much we change the external environment, we will continue to perpetuate a similar experience over and over and over again. So your thoughts create your reality. So important to understand. How can we harness that knowledge in service of creating results that we want? It begins with awareness. It begins with noticing what you're noticing, paying attention to the thoughts that you're thinking, starting to notice the difference between an empowering thought and a disempowering thought. And you might be the person who says right now, but Stacey, I am a positive person. And I'll tell you, I would have said I'm a positive person for a long time, and yet my results were eluding me. And the more I dove into what am I actually thinking about? What am I actually talking about? And as I really got curious about that and paid attention to my thought patterns, on the surface, I was a positive person. But my inner thoughts were not in alignment with what I wanted to achieve and what I said was important to me. And so noticing the thoughts that you're thinking, paying attention, and noticing if I keep thinking in this way, is it going to lead me in the direction of my vision and my goals? Or is it going to continue to perpetuate the same conditions? As you're noticing what you're noticing and you start to become more aware of the thought patterns that you're thinking, to know that you can interrupt those thought patterns. So we notice, we interrupt, and then we replace. We notice, we interrupt, we replace. As you're noticing what you're noticing, you're not going to notice every thought that you think, but you'll start to notice your dominant thought patterns. You'll start to notice the conversations that you continue to have. And as you're noticing and you're starting to get curious, curiosity here is your friend, you're getting curious. Is this thought pattern, is this conversation really serving my goals? Is it going to take me where I want to go? And if the answer is no, you have the ability to interrupt that. And we do that by saying, that was then, or up until now. I like to say cancel, cancel. So we're consciously interrupting those thought patterns and then replacing them with a new thought. Replacing them with a thought that's more expansive. How do you know what to replace that thought with? Here, it's very, very helpful to have a vision, have a goal, have a direction of where you want to go in your life, because then you can replace it with a thought that's more in alignment with the thing that you want to accomplish. So your thoughts, the most powerful energy on this planet. For most of us, our thoughts are thinking us. We're not even aware or conscious of our thoughts. We become more aware, more conscious, noticing what we're noticing, interrupt, replace. Now, just because you replaced a thought once, does that mean you're going to have a new reality? No, unfortunately, it's not that easy. It requires repetition. It requires us thinking the new thought over and over and over again. And through the practice of repetition, what we're doing is we're creating new neural pathways in our brain. We're creating new self-image. We're creating a new belief system within us. And that gets hardened within us. And then we start to see the result in our reality. Repetition is key. And I see so many people with the best of intentions. They have this idea, yeah, my thoughts create my reality, but they don't have the discipline and the repetition required to really create those new neural pathways, those new belief systems, and therefore the new results. So repetition is key. And there's something that we can add to that that really supercharges our results and collapses time. And that's by adding emotional impact to those thoughts. When we have strong emotional impact, what it does is it fires and wires those neural pathways quicker. And so the way that we can add more emotion to those new thoughts is one of the ways is 5-sensorizing it. Really feeling yourself, seeing yourself, hearing yourself inside of that new life. When you're saying those new thoughts, it's not just, oh yeah, everything's working out for me, but you're really inside and embodying the thoughts. Everything is always working out for me. The more you emotionalize and embody that new image of you and you're thinking from that new image of you, your vision, your goals, with energy, with emotion, you will hardwire those neural pathways much, much quicker. So repetition and emotional connection is one of the ways that we shortcut the time required to create transformation. Repetition, repetition, repetition is key when we want to create new results. Making that a daily habit where you're thinking from your vision, you're acting from your vision, you're emotionalizing that vision is so key. We've created a 28-day mindset challenge that helps you through the power of repetition install new neural pathways every day for 28 days in 5 minutes or less. So if you're ready to hardwire your brain for success so that you can finally close that gap between where you are and your goals, go ahead and take part in that 28-day challenge. It will help you install a new mindset for success. I'm Stacey Berger. Here is to you living a life that you love.